let me tell you about this raw vegan hack that really changed my life. When I first tried going raw, I thought that the hardest part would be, not being able to eat cooked food, but it turns out that that wasn't the problem at all. The real problem was the daily prep, okay? Like every morning I was just, washing the greens or chopping some sort of veggies or, blending something, making the sauce, cleaning up. And, by the time the evening came, I didn't have much energy to do it all over again. And of course, on the days that I was busy or super tired, these were the days that I might sleep up. I'd open the fridge, open for, something ready, but see nothing but, all this whole produce just staring back at me. And I think, okay, you know what, forget it. I'll just eat something else quick, okay? And that was always the beginning of, the spiral. Then one day I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna prep everything ahead of time just to see, what would happen. So I washed all my greens, like everything at once, and I just chopped up all kinds of vegetables. I chopped up all my, cucumbers and bell peppers and celery and all of that. And I made sure that like all my fruit is on display and, ready to eat whenever I want to eat. I made sure that I had some sort of sauces ready and available. So I would just blend up a couple of dressings or so. I would make sure that I have a big container of noodles. And of course, I made sure to stock it all in clear containers so that I could literally see all my options. And as you can imagine, the whole week it felt like I had like a personal raw chef with me. Like every time I would get hungry, I simply had choices. I always had choices. So instead of chopping, I was simply just assembling. It's really easy. And instead of debating, okay, so what should I have for dinner, I was eating already, okay? And it was consistency. It changed everything. This consistency changed everything. So meal prepping really helped me. It took away all that decision fatigue, all that, okay, what do I eat now? All that stress that comes with it, and all those, moments when hunger wins over willpower. So it made raw food easy and almost like automatic, okay? And now I think of meal prep as a gift that I give to myself. So I would spend a couple of hours a week of, prepping and chopping and making things ready. And then the whole week, well, at least 5 days, I could be okay. I could be fine. I open the fridge and there is something to eat, because a lot of things, a lot of produce actually could last, up to 5 days. So yeah, only a couple of hours a week, and you're gonna be staying on track. You're gonna be feeling energized. You're gonna be healthy. You're not gonna be having all this fight. You're not gonna fight the same basically battle over and over again. What am I eating? Stuff like that. And everything is so much easier now, and I also save so much time because of this. And it doesn't have to be salads every single day. You can make different kind of dishes if you really want to. For me, I variate. I make a few salads and then I make a couple of other dishes, okay, like raw nut meat, and I pre-wash some romaine leaves, and that way when I want to eat something different, when I want to eat by hand and I don't want to eat with my fork anymore, I have these romaine leaves ready, and I have my nut meat prepared and some sort of salsa. So I just assemble everything and it's good to go. Or it doesn't even have to be this. You can even prep ahead some wraps. There are so many different dishes available. You can change it up every week if you want to. Just learn a couple of recipes if you really need to, and experiment with that. But let me just quickly show you a few steps, okay? What I usually do, okay? Like a step-by-step prepping situation. So step number 1, I usually like to pick some sort of base, right? Like, for example, either zucchini noodles or some leafy greens, or some, like I said, romaine lettuce to have my vessels, or whatever else you choose to have as your base, right? Then in step number 2, all I do is I just add all these colorful ingredients, like for example, carrots, bell peppers, or beets. I chop everything up and also store it separately. I try to store things separately. I don't like to mix everything together, otherwise, it might not survive. for this amount of time. But I just store everything in different containers, and I know what I have because they are see-through containers, and I open the fridge and I see what's in there. Okay, so I prepare all these vegetables. Now, step number 3, I really want to make sure that I have some sort of sauce, or at least like a base for a sauce. For example, like cashew cream or some sort of sunflower cream or hemp seed cream. And I have them plain, and sometimes I just, when I'm ready to mix up the salad, I just add a couple more ingredients in there. Or I already prepared the whole dressing, like some sort of Asian dressing. I already prepare it, and it's good for 5 days. No problem in the fridge. I just shake it up and pour it to my salad whenever it's ready. So you can do different kind of variation, but I always make sure there is some sort of dressing available in my fridge, because I'm lazy. I don't want to go ahead and just wash my blender 20 times a week just for all these sauces. And I don't want to waste my time. I wanted everything to be nice and ready, and because I have a busy life. Okay, I have 3 kids. I always run around somewhere, always doing something, and I barely have time even to think about, okay, what I'm going to be eating. So this meal prepping situation is really helping me. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, I like to prep everything in bulk. Okay, so when you chop your food for a salad, make sure you chop for a few more salads, because things like carrots, beets, even bell peppers and celery, all these things, they can last in the fridge in an airtight container for quite a few days. So you can chop ahead of time and store it ready for your salads. Okay, you don't have to keep on doing this throughout the week every single day. Of course, if you have time and you like everything super fresh, why not? Okay, but for people like me who don't have much time for this, but who prefer to eat healthy, this is another option, and it works for me. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm hoping that it can help you guys too. And I'm gonna leave a few recipes in my description, so you can check it out for like sauce recipes or salad recipes or some other raw recipes. I'm gonna leave everything in the description, so make sure to check it out. Okay, because I have yummy, delicious food. If you don't know me, I prefer to eat really delicious food. I get bored eating the same thing over and over again, even though sometimes I don't care, but most of the time I like to have something exciting. I like to have some sort of sushi or wraps or crackers. I have a whole bunch of recipes. I have a whole bunch of meal prep ideas. I'm gonna link everything in the description, so make sure to check it out. And trust me, this hack, you could think that it's simple meal prepping hack, but this hack, it really helps me stay raw, or at least mostly raw, because sometimes I go out to the restaurants or I visit my friends and somebody prepares something vegan for me, so I might have that. But most of the time when I'm home, I'm eating all raw, and I don't go out too much. And like I said, if I do go out, it will always be vegan. I never eat anything else. But other than that, I'm staying raw, and this is the hack that really helps me stay consistent. It helps me stay raw. Okay, it helps me to be on track, and it helps me to stay healthy, because I feel the best when I eat raw food. Okay, like I notice the difference. Even if I eat something vegan cooked, I can feel the difference the next day. I feel a bit more dehydrated. I feel a little bit more lazier. My creativity kind of goes down, and I prefer to be raw. I prefer to stay raw, and this is the hack that really helps me, and I really hope that it can help you too. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.